Hey everybody, this is Jonathan Adler for the U.S. Nationalist Report. I'm doing an update on how things are going. Hopefully you've been able to watch some of my recent videos. I just posted a report on the BOSA site, downtown San Diego. Last year when I checked that site, I only saw foreign Latino workers. And almost all the workers that I observed were foreign Latino. I even met some from Laos, which is in Southeast Asia. And I could find no U.S. citizen white and black workers. And then when I followed up last week, I found out there was another work crew working on the street that was all Latino, apparently all foreign Latino. And one of the guys had a Mexican flag on his arm. So I asked the guy why he had a Mexican flag on his arm. He refused to answer me, and then his supervisor started yelling at me. And he started threatening me, yelling the F word at me. I did not back down. I continued to film, and I asserted my First Amendment right to photograph in public and to act as a reporter, freedom of the press right. So I did post that report. I recommend everybody watch that, share it on on your friends groups. As you probably are aware, I had member Gina post that I was suspended. I was given a 30-day suspension because I posted that I think Army snipers should be on the border. And I was immediately given a 30-day suspension for that on Facebook. I guess they define that in their convoluted way as some type of a hate speech. It's very ominous. So we're very, very precarious times here, folks. We all need to get active. As you know, the big Silicon Valley companies are very aggressively attacking our First Amendment. They're attacking all of our basic God-given rights enshrined in our Constitution and Bill of Rights that were written into the Constitution by our founding fathers, just for the exact reason to protect us from this development. Our founding fathers knew this was going to happen sometime in our future. And we're in a very important historical time now when we can decide what direction our future will go for these United States. It's a very, very critical time in our history. So as far as Trump goes, guys, I'm still a big Trump. He's not. We also need that regular army guarding the border. I'll get more into that a little later. But the good news is that Trump did get in, and it's probably good to have him reelected because one of the main reasons is because the globalists are constantly pushing the identity politics, okay? And they know, I'm a sociologist, so I can say they know that, I don't mean this in a sexist or racist way, but I'm not going to be politically correct. It's just a fact that the biggest obstacle on the planet are basically the middle working class, straight white male population. We're the biggest firewall. They're satanic, totalitarian, New World Order. So the good news is enough people woke up and elected President Trump. So the good news is that just the fact that Donald Trump is a straight, white, successful, mostly self-made man, independent, basically normal, white, straight male, all-American male, that defeats a lot of their identity politics that they were trying to force on us. Like they installed Obama and that's how they want to break up the U.S. And it was for them to put Hillary Clinton in power after Obama to push the gender war narrative. As you can see from what's going on, you can see that women are being brainwashed to look at men as the women are being brainwashed to look at men as evil because that's part of the narrative to pit women against men. So if Hillary Clinton got in, it would have been constant white male bashing. Now they're still doing that, but it's a lot harder for them to maintain their credibility because we now have a role model that's a straight white male. So this is a great way to defeat their narrative, to break down the family. The reason that why they want Hillary Clinton in was to keep pushing American women to fight American men to break down the American family. So we want to fight that, guys. Hold on a second. All right. Just at a park here, there's some strange people walking around. All right, so anyway, what I was saying is, so we do have that going for us. That's good. And then let me try to put a little light on here, guys. See if I got any light. Okay, so anyway, so that's good. Okay, so it's good that we have that role model in this president. That's why they keep attacking because they're trying to push their divide and conquer to destroy the United States. Now, let me get back to some big issues. Biggest issue right now that we all want to be aware of. Hold on, guys. Just got to keep an eye. I'm in a park here. There's a lot of people. All right. So the other big issue, guys, is the border. Okay. Now I want to reiterate. This is very important. When I read the social media, everybody is always talking about the wall. Okay. Now remember, the wall is important, but a wall stationary. It's just a wall. It's easy to breach a wall. What's even more important is that we have regular army guarding the border. Okay. Now, people are very brainwashed these days. They don't understand that that is, in fact, the job of the U.S. military to protect our own country. Unfortunately, people are so brainwashed now that they think the United States is supposed to be world police and its job is to protect Shell, BP Oil, Deutsche Bank, Bank of England, foreign companies, foreign countries like Germany, Japan. We have 28,000 army protecting the South Korean border. Now, people are brainwashed to think that's more important than protecting our own border. But remember, you have to wake up. You have to, I understand why people think this way because people have been brainwashed for years. I've been studying the New World Order for over 25 years. I'm not brainwashed. I've been wide awake for years. So I can tell you very 100%, with 100% certainty, we need to have U.S. Army guarding our own borders. It's common sense. Most people should know that, but I understand people are brainwashed. So all of us have to demand that our government put army on the border. The Border Patrol does as good a job as it can, but they don't have the manpower and the equipment to protect the border anymore. We are being invaded. Okay, you got to remember that modern warfare is different than it was in conventional warfare, like in World War I and World War II. Modern warfare is what you call asymmetrical warfare. And wars being waged on us by the globalists. These are the owners of multinational corporations. Remember, their goal is to break up all sovereign countries, to destroy sovereign cultures, destroy our value systems, and they want to reconstitute the world into a one world government with no countries. So their main target right now is the United States. And they're also targeting the people of Europe, mainly the middle working class, small business people of the United States and Europe. Because if they make us all poor by bringing in unlimited third world people and forcing us to pay more taxes to pay for all these poor third world people, they can bankrupt 99.9% of the human race. And once they're able to do that, they'll have total control over the human population. And their next step will be mass extermination. Okay, I'll get more into that in another video, but it's very dangerous times now. So we have to all get active, take 100%. Don't just wait for the president to do things. Even if I think the president has to be doing more, but even if he was doing 100%, he's only one man. Everybody has to get active. You have to do what, there's a couple groups in Arizona doing really good work. Patriot Movement of Arizona. I recommend you watch their videos. Also recommend you watch Arizona Patriot Movement, AZ Patriots. I just watched their video. They've been doing reconnaissance on churches in Arizona, harboring the illegal aliens. It's a very bad situation, guys. Okay, so we all need to get active in our local communities. Also, patriots have to start organizing militias. Okay, now I'm not telling people to do anything illegal. Don't do anything illegal. Don't do anything aggressively violent. But we all have the Second Amendment right to form defensive armed militias. Everybody should be organizing with like-minded patriots in your cities and forming militias, guys. Okay, because we're getting invaded here. It's called asymmetrical warfare. And the illegal aliens, I got a couple of them working by me right now. They're all over the place, guys. It's a bad situation. And they're getting all our tax money. Everybody has to start getting active, guys. Okay, so my advice right now is everybody should be calling their Congress people and telling the government we want regular U.S. Army guarding the border and not National Guard, okay? You don't want National Guard because that's controlled by governors, okay? The mass media is confusing people into thinking National Guard is what we want. We don't want National Guard because they don't have the equipment, the training to guard against foreign invasion. As you know, China could also invade from Mexico. That's another reason we need regular army on the border. And National Guard is controlled by governors, not the president. The president can immediately put U.S. Army on the border to guard the border. So the wall is going to take a couple of years. In the meantime, we have to have Army guarding the border. And the rules of engagement have to be shooting with a minimum of rubber bullets anybody trespassing over the border. And so everybody's got to be telling the government we want regular army on the border. In the meantime, if they're not doing that, and even if they are doing that, all patriots need to be organizing citizen armed defensive militias in your local cities. I recommend some militia go near the border as a secondary defense in case things get a lot worse, but also organize militias in your home cities because these illegals are being distributed all over the United States. They go get jobs illegally, they get benefits illegally, you have to also block them from doing that in your home cities. That's also a way to solve the problem. But you can't just sit back and be passive and expect the government to do it all. They're not going to do it anymore. There's too much corruption in the government. Everybody has to get involved to take back our government and get active out in the field and do citizens arrests if you have to. Whatever you can do legally and not get put in jail, you have to do. You have to start doing now, guys. It's red alert situation. Red alert. Red alert. Red alert. Okay, so everybody's got to do that. We also have to stop the catch and release. Okay, Arizona Patriots have been documenting that. I've been documenting this since San Diego. It's very unfortunate, but it is a fact that Department of Homeland Security and even ICE, I know it's hard to believe, but this is a fact that ICE buses, DHS buses are actually taking any illegal that goes to the border, and if all they do is ask for asylum or say they want to be a refugee, they let them into the country. They may detain them a few days at the ICE facility, but then they release them to churches all over the United States. They're busing them to churches. This has been documented. Even though Trump said he was going to stop this, they're still doing it. Okay, it's documented that they're still doing this. We just had a protest at a courthouse that they turned into housing for illegal aliens, and we were protesting that. You may have seen my pictures on that. And in Arizona, they're putting them in churches, and they're also using our tax money to pay these churches to take care of the illegals. Catholic Charities is getting over $2 billion a year to do this, the tax money. International Rescue Committee is getting $500 million a year. I'll be investigating that group later in this a couple months. All right, so we all have to demand that we want to end the catch and release, and we all have to tell the government we want a moratorium on the refugee program, because this is how the globalists, this is a Trojan horse the globalists are using to destroy the United States from within. This is an invasion from within. This is why they want to disarm Americans, and at the same time, the deep state, the corrupt elements in the government want to arm the criminals brought over the border. Okay, so red alert situation. Everybody has to start getting active. All patriot nationalists. Okay, so remember the three things we want to stop. You want to tell the government that you want done is we want regular army on the border. We want a wall, and we want to end the catch and release program, and that includes moratorium on the refugees and asylum. Okay, guys, so it's getting kind of dark out here. I'm going to report more on this later, but right now that's the biggest issue I've been doing analysis on. I'll be going to the border quite a bit in the next month or two. We're also doing a big boycott of Hilton hotels. Okay, remember to boycott Hilton hotels, because the Hilton in Woodland Hills is hosting the new terrorist congresswoman, Ilhan Omar. It's not a coincidence that the anagram of Ilhan Omar is Hail Roman. The New World Order is basically the new Roman Empire, so it's not a coincidence. The anagram of her name is Hail Roman. This woman's a terrorist. She wants to wage jihad. That means Muslim holy war against all non-Muslims. That's part of their religion. So it's not a race issue. It's just a historical fact that a major tenet, a major plank of Islam is to wage war against all non-Muslims. That's why there's so many Muslims in the world, not because they're so wonderful, but because they've forced people at the point of the sword, literally, to forcibly convert to Islam. And we're a Judeo-Christian nation, European culture, so we have to put a stop to this Muslim insurgency in the United States. So I call on all patriot nationalists to boycott Hilton until they cancel hosting this fundraising event for Ilhan Omar. It's also an event to raise funds for CARE. CARE is actually a front group for the terrorist group Hamas. So CARE is just a front organization. Obviously, they have to pretend like they're civilized, but it's a documented fact that when they fundraise money, it actually goes to the Hamas terrorist group that's been killing Christians, Jews, Yazidis, hundreds of thousands of non-Muslims in the Middle East. So the Hilton Hotel is actually committing a crime if they host these terrorists at their hotel. They would actually be helping these terrorists raise money, which is a federal crime. So we all want to be, like I said, as you know, don't do anything illegal, don't threaten Hilton or anything like that. But we should all be exercising our First Amendment and telling Hilton we will boycott their company if they host these terrorists. And we should all be calling and emailing them and telling them that they should cancel this event and that it is a violation of our laws and it is helping foreign infiltrators try to destroy the United States. So it's unacceptable for Hilton to be hosting these Muslim terrorists. So that's the other big issue going on. That's going to be March 23rd. I'll be doing some protests here in San Diego near the Hiltons. If anybody wants to join me, you can email me. Okay, so those are the big issues right now this month are the Hilton boycott. There's also going to be a big protest in LA. If you want to go to that, I posted the notice for that. I'll probably be doing some protests here in San Diego. And the other big issue, like I just said, is the border. And I'll be doing intensive reporting on that in the next few months. And also, I appreciate all members making contributions. I've decided to try to do this full-time activism for the next 3 years. But the only way I can put in full-time hours on this and apply my talents and knowledge, which, not to brag, is, I'm probably one of the best people to be an activist for this because I've been studying the New World Order for years. So I know what to do basically. But it's important for people that agree that we want to bring back our country, restore our constitutional republic. It's important for you to support people like me that are the full-time activists, that are at the tip of the spear, guys. So if you're disabled or even if you're low income, remember to contribute what you can financially so I can continue to do this work. Okay, this is to protect all of us American people. And also I will be giving at least 10% of contributions to the food bank I volunteer at, where we feed and clothe homeless, hungry, disabled people in San Diego. I'll also have a program I'm trying to get up on its feet called Vending for Veterans and Homeless, to provide vending cards that homeless people can actually sleep in and sell like food or tourist stuff out of vending cards in Los Angeles and San Diego. So when you make contributions, it also helped me set up veterans and homeless with carts. Because if you see my videos, a big problem here in Southern California is the government is actually protecting a big racket where virtually all street vending is being done by illegal aliens. So we want to stop that and give those businesses to legitimate U.S. citizens. All right, guys, so it's getting kind of dark here. I think I'm going to wrap this up. Remember to subscribe to my channel, the U.S. Nationalist Report on YouTube, and to join my group called Info Warriors California on Facebook. Thanks for watching, and I'll update more later this week.